Paige Bueckers continued her breakout rookie campaign with another commanding performance on Thursday night, leading the Dallas Wings to an 86-83 road victory over the Connecticut Sun. The reigning #1 overall pick put together one of her most efficient outings of the season, finishing with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, while shooting a scorching 9 of 14 from the field. For a Wings team that has leaned heavily on its rookie point guard through the ebbs and flows of an up-and-down season, this was yet another reminder of why Bueckers was the most anticipated selection in franchise history. The win improved Dallas to 15-15 on the season, a mark that reflects both the growing pains of a young roster and the emergence of a genuine star at the center of it. More importantly, it snapped a 2-game losing skid and came against a scrappy Connecticut squad that has made a habit of frustrating favorites this year. On the road, in a tightly contested atmosphere, Bueckers delivered exactly the kind of poised, multifaceted performance that franchises build around. Bueckers' shooting line tells the story of a player operating in complete control of the game. She connected on 9 of her 14 field goal attempts for a 64.3 shooting percentage, including a 2 of 5 clip from beyond the arc. Her true shooting percentage for the night sat at an outstanding 75.1%, a number that reflects not just volume scoring, but genuinely efficient scoring. She was nearly automatic inside the arc, going 7 of 9 on 2-point attempts, and she was equally reliable at the free throw line, converting 5 of 6 opportunities. What stood out beyond the raw scoring total was the balance she brought to the stat sheet. 7 assists against just 4 turnovers gave her a healthy 1.75 assist-to-turnover ratio, evidence that she was setting up teammates even as she looked for her own shot. Her 7 rebounds, 6 of them on the defensive glass, underscored her willingness to contribute in areas of the game that do not always show up in highlight reels. 12 of her 25 points came in the paint, where she converted 6 of 8 attempts, showing an ability to finish through contact against a Connecticut frontcourt that features size and physicality. Perhaps the most telling number of the night was her +11 +/- rating, tied for the best mark on either roster, an indication that Dallas was simply a different team with her on the floor. Her offensive rating of 130.9 for the game ranked among the most efficient marks posted by any player in this matchup. The contest opened with Connecticut setting an aggressive tone as the Sun jumped out to a 22-16 advantage in the first quarter behind hot shooting from the perimeter and quick ball movement. Charlize Leger-Walker was particularly effective in the opening frame, using her quickness to get into the paint and draw contact. Dallas struggled to find early rhythm, but Bueckers began asserting herself as the quarter progressed, using pick-and-roll actions to probe the Connecticut defense and set up early looks for her teammates. The second quarter saw the Sun maintain their edge, outscoring Dallas 21-19 to take a commanding 8-point lead into the break. Connecticut's balanced scoring attack, headlined by Layla Lacan's sharpshooting, kept the Wings at arm's length for much of the first half. Dallas shot the ball reasonably well as a team, but could not string together enough defensive stops to change the game's trajectory. Bueckers, however, was quietly building toward the performance that would define the night, methodically picking her spots and staying aggressive without forcing the issue. The third quarter marked a turning point as Dallas began to find its footing, outscoring Connecticut 20-19 to trim the deficit heading into the fourth. This is where Bueckers' impact became increasingly visible as she started attacking closeouts more decisively and using her scoring gravity to open up space for shooters like Alana Smith and Maddie Siegrist on the wings. The fourth quarter was where the game was won and lost. Dallas exploded for 31 points in the final period, an emphatic response that flipped a tense back-and-forth affair into a statement road victory. Bueckers was the driving force behind the surge, attacking downhill with confidence, knocking down timely jumpers, and finding open teammates when Connecticut's defense collapsed to contain her. The Wings' 31-21 fourth-quarter advantage was more than enough to erase the early deficit and secure the three-point win. While Bueckers rightfully earned the headlines, this was very much a team win for Dallas. Jessica Shepard turned in a strong all-around performance off the bench, contributing 14 points and 6 rebounds while shooting an efficient 6 of 10 from the field. Her ability to finish around the basket, converting 5 of 8 attempts in the paint, provided valuable interior scoring that complemented Bueckers' perimeter-oriented attack. Alana Smith was another key contributor, scoring 11 points on a highly efficient 4 of 6 shooting effort, including a red-hot 2 of 3 performance from three-point range. Her floor spacing ability gave the Wings' offense room to operate, particularly in the fourth-quarter comeback, when Connecticut's defense was forced to make difficult choices about who to help off of. Ariko Gunbowl, typically Dallas's primary scoring option, had a quieter night, by her standards, finishing with 9 points on 3 of 10 shooting, though she did connect on 3 triples. Her willingness to keep shooting through a rough shooting night and her ability to draw defensive attention, even when her own shot was not falling, helped create additional space for Bueckers and the rest of the supporting cast to operate. The Wings bench outscored Connecticut's reserves 29-24, a critical advantage in a game that came down to the final minutes. Connecticut's effort falls just short. The Sun did not go quietly, and their effort should not be understated. Layla Lacan led all Connecticut scorers with 18 points on an inefficient but gutsy 5 of 14 shooting night, adding 5 assists and 3 steals. Charlize Leger-Walker was highly efficient in a complementary role, scoring 14 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Brittany Griner recorded a double-double with 13 points and 11 rebounds, continuing to provide a veteran presence in the paint for a Connecticut frontcourt that battled Dallas on the boards throughout the night, with both teams finishing tied at 44 total rebounds. Ultimately, Connecticut's 23 personal fouls and inability to consistently generate stops down the stretch proved costly. The Sun shot a respectable 45.3% from the field for the game, but could not match Dallas's fourth-quarter intensity when it mattered most. Connecticut's 24 bench points and 19 points off Wings turnovers kept them competitive, but the difference in the final frame ultimately decided the outcome. This performance adds another compelling data point to what has already been a remarkable rookie season for Bueckers. Since entering the league as the top overall selection, she has consistently demonstrated the scoring instincts, playmaking vision, and competitive poise that made her one of the most decorated college players in recent memory. Nights like this one, where she shoulders offensive responsibility, while also facilitating for teammates and contributing on the glass, are becoming less the exception and more the expectation. What separates this outing from some of her other strong performances this season is the efficiency with which it was accomplished, scoring 25 points on just 14 field goal attempts, while also piling up 7 assists and 7 rebounds speaks to a level of game control that is often associated with veteran floor generals rather than first-year players. Her ability to impact winning across multiple statistical categories, rather than relying purely on high-volume scoring, suggests a maturity to her game that bodes well for her long-term trajectory and for the Wings' hopes of building a sustainable contender around her. For a Dallas franchise that has weathered its share of struggles this season, Bueckers represents both the present and the future. Her performance against Connecticut was not just a personal highlight. It was a demonstration of the kind of two-way winning basketball that can elevate a roster, still finding its identity. Looking ahead, with this victory, Dallas continues to navigate a competitive Western Conference adjacent landscape in a league where playoff positioning remains fluid deep into the season. The Wings will look to build on this momentum as they continue their schedule, with Bueckers' continued development serving as the foundation for whatever success the franchise hopes to achieve down the stretch. For Connecticut, the loss stings given their competitive effort, but the Suns' young core, including contributors like Leisure, Walker, and Lacan, continues to show signs of promise even in defeat. Both teams will have opportunities to build on the lessons learned from this closely contested battle as the season progresses. As for Bueckers, the basketball world has grown accustomed to headlines proclaiming that she has gone off again. Based on the trajectory of her rookie season, those headlines are likely to keep coming.